doing? Make sure.
I think we're on.
Yeah, we are on. Hello and welcome back to Real United Talk after the international break. We got Manchester United tonight at home to West Bromwich Albion. And as you can see across the bottom of the screen there, the starting 11 is De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Telles, Fred, Matic, Mata, Fernandes, Rashford, Martial. Joined tonight by Mark. How you doing, mate? Been a long time.
Yeah, not bad, mate. Yeah, not done a live show for quite a while, have
I? No, it's nice to.
I thought I'd show my face after that blooper reel that I did.
Yeah, really enjoyed that blooper reel, by the way. Really funny that was. So give us your thoughts, Mark, on the team and what you're expecting and everything else.
Yeah, well, I've just noticed that there's no Pogba. So what's that all about?
According to the app, the Sky
He's not even on the bench, is he?
No, he's not on the bench. It's an aggravated knock apparently from international duty. So that's squashed all the rumours of Pogba's on his way out in January or anything like that. So aggravated knock apparently is the reason. So as I said, Matic I think comes in and takes his place. Along with Fred is in there in the midfield as well. Do you think it's a diamond, Mark? Do you think it's 4-3-3, 4-4-3?
It could go either way. This couldn't it? You could have the diamond with Fred and Mata in the middle of it, or you could have the usual 4-2-1-3 with Mata up top right on the right wing. I'd say it's probably going to be a diamond because of the way that I can see West Brom setting up with a back five, and us packing the midfield with a diamond will give us a lot more creativity with it.
Okay,
you're right.
I've
got a text reader reading now. I didn't speak now.
On the bench, I suppose one of the big news stories on the bench is Twanzebe. Mark, you're a big fan of Twanzebe. Do you think he'll get a chance tonight? Lindelof's playing with a semi-back injury. Any chance you could see him coming on at all?
Who's that, sorry?
Twanzebe.
Oh, Twanzebe. Yeah, sorry, I've turned that speech thing off because it was distracting.
Okay.
I hope to see Twanzebe, yeah. I mean, I said to you last night that I'd like to see Twanzebe. Who else did I say? Van der Beek and Cavani play today.
Yeah.
But obviously he's gone for what he thinks is the strongest team, I think. Well, kind of.
But you mentioned Mata last night as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I said Mata because his creativity against these smaller teams, the pace of the game. I think Mata, this is one of the kind of perfect games for Mata to play. I think him and Bruno will work well together today. The creativity's there.
Yeah, I think Bruno and Mata do work well together. I do prefer to see them together than Bruno and Pogba. I just think Bruno and Mata bring so much more creativity to the team.
Yeah.
Mata he plays in the hole. He can find those little pockets of space. He can pick a pass out. And I think with Bruno, he's a lot more direct than Mata. Plus, Bruno can score goals as well. So I think you've got the best of both worlds with them two starting. Rashford, do you think Rashford? I mean, obviously, Ollie thinks Rashford is fit after the shoulder injury against Everton last time out. Do you think Rashford's going to see out the 90 minutes? I mean, is there a possibility? Cavani? I mean, Dia wanted to see Cavani. He wants to see him score.
I'd like to see Cavani start today, but Rashford's a dodgy one because he always plays Rashford whether he's fit or not, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So you don't know whether he's still injured or not. Let's see. We'll just have to wait and see how he gets on. If he's sluggish, if he's protecting his shoulder at all, and the opposition defenders might target him for that reason if he's got carrying an injury.
I remember when he came back from his back injury. He did have a couple of niggles in the back, didn't he? I forget who the game was we played, but when he was going out for headers, they targeted his lower back. Alex Telles, nice to see him make his Premier League debut today. Luke Shaw's obviously out injured after pulling up in the Everton game. I think it was a hamstring problem he's got. So Telles comes in tonight. What do you expect to see from him?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing him because we saw him against, was it PSG?
Yes.
Yeah, and he was. He proved in that game that he can put a wicked ball in. So let's hope we can see him getting on the overlap tonight and get some balls in the box. Get Rashford and Martial on the end of them.
Hope to see a lot of balls in the box tonight, mate.
Balls with a dirty mind,
you. West Brom. I mean, Ollie mentioned it in his press conference yesterday. They've not really trained against a set formation because Slavan Bilic has played a couple of formations this season with West Brom. So it's going to be a bit of a surprise when they step out in the pitch and half hour to see what formation they're going to go up against. What do you expect to see from Bilic's West Brom side?
The two formations I've seen West Brom play have been a 4-1-4-1. Okay. That's against the smaller teams. Against the bigger teams, they've played the back five. So whether they think we're a bigger team or not, I don't know. They probably go for the back five today, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't expect West Brom to cause many problems. But you mentioned a stat, Mark, just before we went live.
There's a couple of stats I read this afternoon. Yeah, out the last 5 games we've played in the league at Old Trafford against West Brom, they've won 3, they've drawn 1, and they've lost 1. So that means we've only won 1 game in the last 5 against them, and we've failed to score 4 times at Old Trafford against them as well in the last 5 games.
Well, that doesn't really stand us in good stead considering our home form.
Our home form's been terrible this season. Yeah, but they've not won a game yet this season, which always alarms me as well because when a team's not won for ages, it's always us that concedes against them. So
that's it. Yeah.
I said in the Predictor League that my prediction's 5-0, but having read them stats, I'm looking more towards maybe a 1-0 scraping through. I'll have to stick with my score though, because I've said 5-0 now.
Dia says it's nice to see you guys. He also says good to see Tellez pulling some cross at least to feed our striker. Again,
attitude of a warrior.
Martial's back after a 3-game suspension. He's been playing in the Champions League when we've obviously been playing in Europe. Do you think he's the right one tonight? Because I would have thought if I really wanted to see Cavani, I thought tonight would have been a good game for Cavani, especially knowing that Alex Telles was going to be given the nod tonight as well. Ollie basically said so in his press conference yesterday. So my vote was for Cavani tonight to come in at the expense of one of them two. So do you think that the Rashford Martial will work tonight?
Well, hopefully, because it brings the speed, doesn't it? Cavani would have slowed us down.
Yeah.
Cavani would have brought that deadly accuracy that he's got, that he's known for as a goal scoring ability, but speed-wise, he's lost the pace. And he never really had massive pace, did he? But Martial and Rashford should be able to hold. Martial should be able to hold the ball up quite well, which he does. So let's hope he holds it up, gets it to Rashford, and let's hope they bounce off each other and score some goals today.
I'm hoping tonight that seeing Tellez in at left back, I'm hoping his crosses aren't going to go to waste.
Yeah,
already am.
Definitely.
That would be a waste of his natural ability.
Well, Bruno can pop up and get one as well. He proved that last time.
He can. But it would be nice to not rely on Bruno so much at the minute.
Definitely.
I think he's the one that's. I think if he gets an injury, I really do think we could be in shit streak, to be honest. Centre backs, Mark Maguire's been in for a bit of abuse while on international duty across social media. What are you making of his performances so far this season, especially being United captain as well?
Well, he's not an £80 million player, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and his leadership's not been great, but I think he's getting better. So let's hope somebody's giving a rocket up his ass and he's going to do some good stuff for us today.
Also, as well, the right back situation, Wan-Bissaka. I've seen a few tweets from United fans on Twitter in the last couple of days, not being overly aggressive towards him, but subtle little digs that you could take the right way or the wrong way. Fosu Mensah's got a shout here at right back. He's not on the bench tonight. Twanzebe and Brandon Williams have got the nod. Do you think there's possibility we could see Fosu coming at some point in the next few weeks?
I'm not sure. This game isn't the one for Fosu Mensah, that's for sure, I don't think, because no matter what formation we play, he's only going to have one Mata in front of him, isn't he, to protect him. So it's not the kind of game where Wan-Bissaka's going to be able to get forward much. Fosu Mensah will probably get exposed at the back a bit more. So it's Wan-Bissaka's game, this one. Juan Mata's not going to protect him, so he's got to do all the work himself.
Now, I think as well, no matter what happens tonight, result-wise, I think Ollie's going to come into criticism somewhere along the line after the 90 minutes, because you're playing again I wouldn't say natural, but you're playing two holding midfielders again at home. And you've got a holding midfielder on the bench in McTominay. Do you think that he should maybe be playing one holding midfielder and swapping him with Van der Beek, or do you think the two holding after an international break is playing it safe? Do you think he could afford to be a bit more expansive in his team
against the team? I know I keep saying a team like West Brom, but I've just said the stats that I read about West Brom, they're not great, are they, for us? So maybe he is being cautious because of the history.
Yeah.
But in the form that West Brom's on this season, they've not won a game. You'd fancy your chances, and I wouldn't have thought you'd put two holding midfielders in there. But having said that, our home form's always so terrible as well. So there's no getting around it. You can see why he's being cautious.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but I can see why.
I also had a thought as well. Mason's not in there tonight either.
And he wasn't in the last one either, was he?
No, he's not.
I've not heard anything about injuries.
No, Mason's not injured. He never said he was injured yesterday in the press conference.
No.
Sarah Minnie says, hello, Christy and Marcus. How are you all? I'm very well, Sarah. Thanks for joining.
Hi, Sarah. You all right?
Chris says, don't know why Donny again doesn't start. Looks like it was a Woodward signing after all.
Yeah, Van der Beek.
Yeah, Van der Beek. What is going on here, Mark? What is going on?
I have no idea. How he gets a start, I'll never know. He scored on international duty last week. I didn't watch the game, but apparently he's been great. We've seen him come on as a substitute for us, and he's been brilliant. How he doesn't get a game, I don't know. What he's got to do is beyond me.
And you know what? I'm going to go back to what we just talking about. The two holding midfielders. One of them could have been sacrificed for Van der Beek. Surely they could have been. Chris says,
if it's a diamond, I'd have thrown him in the middle of the diamond, instead of Fred.
Yeah, you could have done,
because you could have Matic will do fine on his own in this game at the back. You could have had him in if it's a diamond, then definitely had to put in there with Mata. Two fantastic creative players in the middle of that.
Yeah, you could have even put Mata left and Van der Beek right, with Matic at the bottom and Bruno at the top.
Mata's left-footed, isn't he? So he'd be better
there. Yeah. Chris says Mason's probably taking a little time out to grieve, but Ollie needs to say so and stop the speculation. Do you know what, Chris? I'm glad you said that, because I totally forgot about that. Dia says, I hope Mata will do his bits with some creativity today. Important. And he also
I'm looking forward to Mata today. Out of all that team, I think Mata's the one I'm looking forward to watching.
Yeah.
Because he needs some consistency, and he can shut a lot of people up tonight.
I don't expect much attacking threat from West Brom, but your stats that you brought up, Mark, are slightly worrying.
They are a couple of years old. Don't forget they've been in the First Division last season, so we've not played it for 2 years in the league since 98. I keep saying 98, since 2018.
Not that long ago, mate.
But they've not. Here's another stat: they've not beaten us in 2 consecutive games at Old Trafford since 1980, and they won the last one in 2018. So they'd have to get a new record by beating us today.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's have a look. I'm very conscious of the time because I've got to make a drink and get ready before the game. So people in the comments. I know, Mark, you do your predictor league. What have you gone with score-wise?
Me, I went for a crazy 5-0, but that was before I read all these stats.
Right.
In hindsight, I'd have gone for a 1-0, judging on the history of the two teams over the past few years. But I'm going to stick to my guns, though. I have to stick to my guns because 5-0 is what I've put down in the predictor league.
I think me and Mum went 3-0, was it?
Yeah, you went 3-0.
Yeah, me and Mum's gone 3-0. Chris,
which means we're going to lose. Which means we're going to lose because every time Marcus says we're going to win, we lose. You've not got a single point yet in the predictor league, have you?
No one knows that.
Of course they know. They can read it on the predictor league every time I put it up.
Mate, no one takes notice who's at the bottom. Nard,
you're not the only one on 0. Don't worry about that.
Right, okay. Nard Motsy, welcome, mate. He says, is Tellez playing? Yes.
Yeah, Tellez
starts. Dia's gone 2-0 United. Do you know what? I'm excited for this game. I don't think it's going to be one-way traffic, but I don't think United are going to be posed any sort of real problems.
I think set piece play might be difficult for us.
I think, that's the danger. I think set piece, or it's going to be a fucking a penalty, a stupid penalty. I mean, I was watching that Spurs and the City game, and to be honest, mate, I thought Spurs were so boring, but they won the game.
Is it? Is it still going on there?
No, it's finished now. Spurs won 2-0, but Spurs were so boring to watch. Typical Mourinho team. Red, you're right, mate. Nard Motsy has gone 4-1 United. Red, what's your score? Chris, what's your score as well? Chris says, yes, dear, Matter should do okay, but I still hate seeing him on the wing. He always comes central and it gets congested, and we don't have much on the right then. Yeah, he's got a point. Well, I mean, Matter's used to playing as the number 10, isn't he? Well, I'll say he's used to. I don't think he's hardly ever played there for United. Red's gone 2-0. So pretty unanimous.
For all of you that don't play the predictor league, there's still plenty of time to start joining in because there's not many scores gone down so far, so you can still catch up. Just DM me at the report card 20, and I'll put your scores in for the next game. But the entries stop 2.5 hours before kickoff for each game.
Yeah, you won't come off.
Everybody enjoys it.
I'm in last place, so you'll beat me. So that's not a problem.
I've only got 4 points, I think. And the leaders are only on 11, so you'll easily catch up with them.
Chris says, I think we'll win, but if we can't win this, then what hope have we? Chris says he's going with 1-0. Nard Motsy says, is McTominay starting? No, McTominay's on the bench, mate.
Yeah.
Red Devil says, yeah, we're all shit at that predictor league. Someone good join it.
You got more points than Marcus, though, Red.
Everyone's got more points than me, mate. There's about 5 or 6 people that haven't scored yet. Yeah. Well, I'm listening to George. George said 4-1, didn't he, little Georgie? So hopefully, my 3.
George Kyle's gone for that as well.
Has he?
I think so.
Right. Well, hopefully, I'll get my first points on the board tonight, and you get points if they win, didn't you? Yeah. If you predict.
Yeah, it's 2. If you've predicted what for you said 3-0.
3-0, yeah.
So it doesn't matter what score it is. If we win, you get 2 points. If it is 3-0, then you get 5 points.
Right.
Because you get the exact. If you get the exact score, you get 5 points.
So I just want to shut my kitchen door a minute. Okay. Nard says he prefers McTominay over Matic. Do you know what? I would like to have seen McTominay tonight over Matic, actually, just for that bit of speed.
It brings a bit of speed, yeah, but Matic is really good at getting the ball forward these days. His forward passing's really good. And plus, he's not had a game for ages, so it's good to see him have a chance again.
He's like a calming influence in there as well, isn't he, Matic?
Yeah, he's quite solid, isn't he, at the back?
Okay, right. Well, like I say, I'm conscious of time. It's 7:45 now, so I've got my kettle's on boiling. That's why I've had to shut the kitchen door. So thanks for joining, Mark. It is, mate. Yeah, and that's a new kettle as well. I bought a new kettle as well. Yeah, thanks for joining, mate. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. Right, so we will be live again after the game for the post match. It's scheduled for 10 o'clock, I think it is, but we'll probably be live as soon as the game finishes anyway. Chris says we need better than both McTominay and Matic. Matic is not mobile, but he can pass. McTominay is mobile, but can't pass.
They're both good, but what we need is excellence. We need something that's really solid.
Red says Matic better at finding that killer ball than Fred or McTominay against the park bus. Oh, do you know what? Well, you're probably going to see that tonight. I really do. Do you know what? I don't think they're going to have it their own way tonight. No. But I don't think West Brom are going to play for a win. They're going to play for a draw. They're just going to be complete arseholes and just I think the only thing is,
like we said before, the only thing that's going to balls this up for us today probably is going to be a stupid mistake from somebody at the back, a penalty, or a set piece. If we can stop the stupid mistakes, then keep the set pieces out, then we should be all right.
Well, we know from the last few games, mate, the mistakes have come from Maguire. Yeah. So going back to what you said earlier, Mark, hopefully he's on song tonight. And
yeah, well, he scored, hasn't he? And he's scored at international as well. So that's 2 goals in the past few weeks for him. So hopefully his confidence is up.
Hopefully, mate. Time will tell. Right. Thanks for joining, mate. All right.
No problem.
And thanks for everyone in comments who stopped by and joined in. Red says, I'm glad we're not playing a diamond for your sake, Mark, after seeing them bloopers. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that is good.
Having a meltdown, wasn't
I? Mate, if you haven't watched it, watch Mark's blooper show thing. It is absolutely hilarious.
If you don't like bad language, then I'd stay away.
Yeah.
Because I went a bit crazy, a bit nuts, a bit wacko.
It's so funny. So funny. Right, guys. Thanks for joining in, and we'll see you around 10 o'clock. All right.
Yeah, catch you later, guys.
See you later.